So,
Hi.
Hi.
we're here with Patty and Sarah, the stars of Amazing Gracie.
You're the star.
So, have y'all ever worked together before?
No.
This
This is the first time. I know you can't tell, but it was
Yeah.
the first time. And it was cool.
And y'all had
That's
never
amazing.
met before
No.
being on set here?
Not
Nope.
at all.
Wow.
Met on camera.
Met on
For a
camera,
callback.
basically, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It's callback. Yeah.
for sure.
So, how was that experience?
The callback?
The
Or the-
working together?
Working
'Cause-
together was amazing. The callback was also amazing. I don't know, there was something about her on set where we just clicked
Immediately.
on a personal level really
Right.
immediately.
Right.
And it felt very safe.
Yes.
And it felt like she and I had the chemistry and the opportunity to like let each other explore what our characters were feeling. So I would tell you that there was a very unique moment on our first day in set where just I felt so at ease and so comfortable with her that I feel like, because we were doing hard scenes.
Awfully hard.
I'm not sure who
things.
scheduled that, but we
Right.
were doing like really hard scenes on the first and second day.
Very emotional.
Yes. And so we had to, I feel like we had to jump into that. We had to jump into a space of knowing each other intimately, even though we'd never met in person.
Right.
And so, I don't know, I just felt really safe with you.
And there was something, you're very open. You're very at ease, natural. And I've said this before, but there was something about your eyes because I have to look at you a lot
Yes.
and not in a happy way.
Right.
And looking at the soul through your
Yeah.
eyes, I felt like I knew so much of you
Yes.
more than
It was like a kindred spirit
It was.
kind of thing. And so we just related on like a really personal level immediately. And
We
it
did.
just made the rest of the scenes go super
And then
well.
you remember at one point I said, we actually kind of look like mother-daughter.
Well,
And she's like, well, I did do the casting.
it's a little bit
I was
planned like that.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It was intentional.
Yeah, we became friends. And
Yeah,
it just,
definitely.
yeah,
100%.
big time. I wish you lived closer.
I know.
You mentioned the very difficult scenes. And for everyone watching this right now, they need to realize that Patty is not the character.
It's
Right.
not
So
Susan.
tell us how much of a stretch that was for you to play Susan. Because I got to be honest, a lot of people did not like your character.
Right. Which, good. Good.
Yeah.
Right? I would hope that they wouldn't like my character. I would hope they would like me if they ever got to know me.
Yes.
But, how much of a stretch? I don't want this to sound wrong. And it wasn't that much of a stretch in the sense of, being mean the entire time, but it wasn't mean. There's a bitterness that comes from such deep sadness that happened to Susan. And I could put myself in those shoes. And you automatically just, there's a bitterness. And there's no way in the world I would ever treat my daughters or my son that way. For a whole year, you're gone and not, there's
Sure.
no way. So I did have to follow the script. But being your mother, and I hope that it came through, and I don't know, but I hope it does come through in this movie. There is still, though, this love for you that's way, way down behind and, below a lot of bitterness. And
It's there. I saw it for sure. 100%. You did such
Maybe
a great
not in
job.
this lap scene, but
I feel like your performance was so layered. And even when I walked into a room or into the house, and you meet me with such hostility, like I could feel that it was coming from a place of hurt.
Yeah.
And not just like, I'm just a mean person. Like we had a history that I felt like you were pulling from. And so it just felt so genuine and natural. She's
So-
not like that in person though.
I do have 3 boys, so every now and then I can do the evil eye.
So how did her drawing on that hurt and that pain, but still conveying the love at the same time, how did that help you in your performance?
Yeah, I think Lucy wants to be loved by her mom, but doesn't feel it. And so I had to try to not feel it, even though as Sarah, like I knew that that's where you were coming from. So I actually tried to kind of miss it I think she misses it. She misses the underlying love that you have for her. And so,
You're in a selfish state. You're in a
Yes.
selfish season of life.
Yes.
So you wouldn't see that.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so, I think where it really helped was towards the end of the film, and I don't want to give anything away, but I think that it really helped in Lucy's arc to turn towards compassion and to forgiveness when she kind of starts to see that her actions, that Susan's actions are really based out of place of love, that she loves her daughter so much and she's had so much hurt from her, and between the two of them, that's where her actions stem from. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say something. One of the questions that you asked, Jody, something about was it easy and, how do we play off each other? I think we've been in enough movies and,
Yeah.
plays and such that we've been in situations probably where it's not real easy to play off someone. Why I felt like an easy role or a role where I was at ease is because you were so easy to play off of.
Well,
You gave me what I needed to respond the way I did. So that makes a huge difference.
It really does. And I would say the same thing about you and Selena and Edward.
Yes,
I feel
the
like
whole cast, right?
Totally. But I do feel like between the two of us, there was so much give. I was like, what do you need?
Right.
I feel like between every take, are you getting enough? Like we just were so open about that. And I just think that you can see that on screen, that you can see our vulnerability with each other.
And mother-daughter relationships are complicated. Mother-child relationships are complicated. So I think we did I feel like we did a
Pat
good
yourself
job.
on the back.
We did a good job
Now,
complicating that.
be easy now.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
patting her. Speaking of being gentle with the pat,
Are we going to go there?
we're going to go there.
You told me to do it.
Where are we going? I know where
So
we're going.
there's a scene in this movie where the tension gets to be overwhelming, we'll say. And you have to slap your daughter. You slap
going there.
Sarah in
We're gonna
this.
talk about that.
We're going to talk about it. Being in the room, it seemed like it was as much a surprise to you, Patty, as it was to you, Sarah. So y'all want to talk about that?
Sure.
You made me do it.
I
You
did.
told me to.
I did. I told her to do that. So, I think we did so many takes without any physical contact. But for maintenance sake, we had to do so many takes throughout the day. We didn't want my face to get red or me to have a mental breakdown. So we chose not to, have her actually slap me. And so we did lots of practice with just making sure that there wasn't going to be physical contact in those takes. And then towards the end, I really did want to get one where she made contact, where she slapped me. I'd never been slapped before, and it affected me more than I thought it would.
I've never slapped before.
I'm sure that that's true too.
I really am thinking. Hopefully my boys will say that's not true,
That's
Mom.
not right.
No, I know. I on the face. I have
Yeah.
never.
And it was an experience. But yeah, so I just knew that towards the end of shooting that day that I wanted to get a take where I wanted her to do it. So I gave her permission. We talked about it ahead of time. We did a lot of prep, and then it happened, and it's in there. It's in the movie, and I'm so glad we did it. In hindsight, in the moment, it was hard. We got through it.
We did.
But I think that it also is a testament to the level of trust that we have. For me to be able to say to her, I trust you to do this once, and it's going to be for the betterment of the film.
And this wasn't our first scene together.
No, thankfully. Thankfully, it was like our last scene together.
Right. Yeah. You really? I'm like, I don't know if I know. Are you sure? Yes.
And I was like, it's going to be good.
So what was interesting is somebody sent me the video. I guess there was, somebody in the cast or somebody in, crew that were filming it. So Mary was writing, they have to write word for word. And she was just doing this. And the person was behind, just doing a little thing off their phone. And Mary was doing this and went, whap. And I saw the back of her head go up, and everybody go, I mean, even though people knew it was coming, I guess
Yeah.
they didn't know. And that was my reaction, but I had to keep it inside. And it was a total, it was horrible.
It was horrible.
It was awful.
Let's never do that again.
It was awful. But what you see in the movie is that's it. That's the take.
Yeah. And I'm so glad we did it. I am. I'm just not sure I would do it again. Do it for this film, but no other film.
Yeah,
Well,
the
and we
stunt
appreciate
thing
it.
makes-
Yeah, anything for you guys.
So, as the writer,
Yes.
did the relationship with Lucy and Susan come across the way you imagined it when you were developing these characters as the writer?
That's a great question.
Yeah. I mean, I think what's amazing about this cast is that they ended up knowing their characters better than I ever could. So Patty took Susan to a place that I couldn't really have ever dreamed or hoped. It's just so interesting because you can write words and they make sense in my head, but once the actor actually does the work and knows who they are inside and out and knows how they tick and how they cope with things and how we interact, I don't know, it just took it to a whole new level. So did it meet my, I mean, it blew my expectations out of the water, the relationship that she and I ended up having. And I think our chemistry is phenomenal. Obviously, we wouldn't have cast you if we didn't think that it was great.
Thanks.
But do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it was better than I ever could have hoped going from page to screen between the two of us.
And I will say this, and I think I may have mentioned it to you. Speaking of page to screen, the words, the script was so natural. And I told you that I could see myself saying the exact same words in real life on some of these, scenes. And that's how easy it was because if everything flowed because it was written so well.
Thank you.
Fan fest over here.
I paid her to say that.
Well, but it really is the truth.
Thank you.
In that sense. And that's, I think, when it does come to life. And I think that, so Micah and you both were very open to suggestions, ideas. How's that feel? Does this, and if I would say, I really want to say something else. Like, I really want to say, no, not right now, instead of no. You're like, do it.
Yeah.
That is collaboration. And
100%.
that's when I think that movies come to life and stories come to life, and we aren't just characters, but we're people.
Yeah.
And it just brings a whole different dimension to the set.
Absolutely.
So thank you and Micah for for being that way.
Well, and I would say that there is, as the writer, stepping into the roles of a character. They say, side note, they say that 3 movies are made within the duration of a film. The one that the writer writes, the one that the director directs, and then the one that the editor edits. And I actually got to be kind of involved with all 3 of those, which was interesting. And so we made 3 different films. Anyway, but I feel like as the writer stepping into the shoes of a character and an actor, I had to leave the writer brain behind. I knew that if needed, I could be consulted, but I knew that the actors knew their characters better than I ever could. And so there was a level of trust that I had in them that if they felt their character would say something else, that I needed to give them the freedom. Like, the freedom's not the right word because that's something Micah would do, but I was fine with it. I was like, yes, whatever. It was my blessing. I gave my blessing for them to really take their characters on and change what they needed to change to bring them to life.
Well, you don't often have the writer on
that's
set
true.
anyway, so that is true.
Yeah.
And I would go to you sometimes and say, what do you think? Like,
No.
pretend like
What
I'm
do
not
you
here.
think?
I know.
And you'd be so annoyed with me. I'm like, it's whatever you want.
Right. I'm not the writer right now.
So speaking of Micah, we're talking of director Micah Corona. Sarah, you have been in another film with Living Word Studios, in Fat Chance. You edited Imposter Pastor, and then this project. So this is really your third project, fourth project, working with us. But this was your first time working with Micah as the director, working with the crew here at Living Word Studios. Tell me, what was that experience like for you?
I was blown away. And it's easy for me to say that right off the cuff because we just had this conversation. The premiere was today, this morning. And my husband, I introduced my husband to Micah. And I had some friends ask me, who are the little young men in the suits and the ties? And we're talking, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 9-year-olds, teenagers. And I said, okay, this is how unique this film is. And that I was blown away that how Micah has taken people in the community, in his church, and those people who want to be a part of this and training them. All of these crew members many of them want to do something in film, want to go to school. And whether it's, at the background or if it's a tech or if it's on scene. And the training that is done and the shadowing that's done from movie to movie, from what I understand, not just this, was amazing. And the diversity. And I remember talking to my husband one night at the end of the day and just saying, this whole community, you've got old, young, you've got people from all areas of the world coming together making this movie. It's not just grips who are 32 years old, been in the business for
Right.
15 years and, collecting minimum wage, whatever. It really blew me away and how everybody came together, and that what Micah is doing and training and teaching people along the way. It's invaluable, I think, for the people who are working on the set. Truly invaluable.
I know how much Micah values utilizing people in their giftings and allowing people to learn and grow and develop in their areas that they're gifted in. And as a mostly volunteer crew, y'all have worked with
Unbelievable.
crews that have been, highly compensated, we'll say. How did this experience compare to some of those other experiences that you've had?
I would say the quality is absolutely no less than any other set that I've been on. The professional aspect of it. And in addition to that, I would say that the feel in the room was such love. There was so much support, and not just support for the actors, but support for each other, support for wardrobe, supporting the art department, supporting grip, supporting. It's just a big love fest, which is really weird. I mean, that doesn't always happen. It's really strange. It's a very strange situation why everything was so wonderful.
No, and
Yeah.
it's so true. And I think part of the reason why that happens is because on a different set, on a non-volunteer set, right? Those people have trained and worked, and this is their job, and they have developed their skill set on their own, probably pursued it on their own. With this, you've got a team of people who have been poured into by the church, by Micah, by the department heads, to teach them and to figure out what their giftings are. And so that's different.
Yeah.
That's a different vibe, right? We're all coming together, figuring out what each other's giftings are, and then they've been poured into, and then now they get to use their talents and their gifts.
And it obviously flows.
And it flows out from them. So I think that that's also part of it. It's so much more of a team effort than, okay, we've got, this is my work for a month. It's not that. It's not that
Right.
at all. And it's wonderful.
And the excitement, there's no doubt you can feel the excitement. I mean,
Yes.
everybody's excited for these weeks. You
Yes.
can tell it's like everybody's coming to camp.
Yeah,
Totally. It feels like big summer camp.
Yeah,
And
it was
everybody's just
incredible.
by.
That's cool. So, can you speak to the theme of the movie being forgiveness? And what does that mean to you personally?
As the writer, because the theme is something that I put in there. It was very intentional. I really wanted to showcase the very unique and special bond that women have with each other, whether it's mother-daughter, aunt-niece, mother-grandmother. There's friends. I think that there is just a very unique bond between women. And I think that it's important that when we're talking about forgiveness, that we remember that forgiveness is a choice, but there's so much more to it than that. You have to bring compassion and grace and generosity to the table when we're talking about forgiveness. And so I just feel like I wanted to show how throughout the film, those little aspects, those little nuggets, Lucy's getting them, Susan's getting them slowly.
Like mine kind of came at
Slowly
the end,
but
maybe.
surely. But so just for me, I really wanted to showcase forgiveness between women specifically, because I know for me personally, I work with my mom.
Yeah.
We have a very unique relationship. We run a nonprofit together. We have gone through so many ups and downs between the two of us, and we're best friends, and it's a beautiful relationship. But it's not without its challenges. You talked earlier about how mother-daughters have a very unique relationship, and so I value the relationship I have with my mom and the conversations that we have had, where we get to lift each other up and the opportunities to show grace and extend compassion to each other, and realize that we don't always grieve the same and we don't always cope and process the same, and that's okay. And that you just have to meet people where they're at sometimes. And so for me, that's kind of where I pulled some of the Susan Lucy thing. My mom and I have never been in like a year-long not talking
That's good to
situation. But the heart of it is there. The heart of seeing my mom and where she's at and her doing the same for me so that we can come together and forgive one another and truly move forward with compassion and grace. So for me, that's kind of personally where it came from and what I hope people see even if it's subtle.
Well, that's when it's beautiful, is when it's subtle. I mean, that's when
True.
it works to me, you know. You know, and what you were just saying about lifting each other up. And actually, I don't know if I should if I should admit this or not. I didn't realize that it was based on forgiveness between women, that there was a through line with the women.
Well, I think that is.
I see that.
It's subtle, and it's more of like an inspiration. Like I was inspired by the.
But that's
you know.
how that shows you how layered this movie is. That here I'm in it, and now that you say it, I realize, oh yeah,
That's there too.
yeah. Well, and we are complicated. All of us are complicated beings. Females might be a little more complicated. I don't know, maybe. But
Really?
that's what you were saying about we have to lift each other up, and we
Yeah.
don't all grieve the same way.
Yeah.
And there's enough stress and darkness in life that when you don't have the forgiveness in your heart and somebody able to forgive you as well, it's just too heavy to live that way. It's just way too heavy.
Yeah. And early in the film, and it's obviously done intentionally, we are called to bear with one another and forgive one another just as the Lord forgives. I mean, it's in there specifically towards the beginning because that's the heart of it. Because Christ forgave us, we have the opportunity to forgive others, and we're called to do that. And so I think forgiveness is just one of the most incredible gifts that we've been given. And the more we can share stories about that
Yeah.
in different ways is
And
important to me.
It's a gift for the giver as well
Sure.
as it is for the recipient.
Absolutely.
Of course. I mean, that's.
And whether they've asked for forgiveness or not, still got to
Yep.
give it.
I hope I never have to forgive you, but
Just
I will if I do.
for all
ever.
future things. Just
Okay.
forgive me now
Okay,
for
right now,
everything.
done. Okay.
So, thank y'all for being here. In just 1 minute or less, tell me, why should people see this movie?
There's something in it for everybody. I think that's one of the biggest things. There's something in there for kids. There's pulling at your heartstrings for the women in the room, and I don't know. There's something for everybody, and I think the message is universal that we all need forgiveness, and we're called to forgive others.
And I think if you want to laugh, if you want to cry, if you want to think, watch this movie. What happened during the pandemic? So many of us were at home looking for something to watch with our children. And our children may have been 4, or they've been 14 or 24. And you're trying to watch something where you aren't wanting to sink into the couch because you're so embarrassed. And this is the kind of movie that will make you laugh, will make you cry, will make you think hard, but you can all watch it together. Grandma, Grandpa, Baby Sue, and those movies are so hard to find. So kudos for writing something that everybody can see and for everybody making it here.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.